Line size we've already seen. Num format allows the application of formatting to numbers as they are output. Num width will set the width of a number. The default is 10 characters. Null string will replace any null values output with a string value. Page size sets the size of a page and determines when the breaks and titles are repeated. If you set it to 0, the headers will simply disappear. Let's do something with page size. First of all, we have to set the headings on again. And let's run that query again. There we have act and name. Now let's set our page size. First of all, let's see what page size is set to. It's set to 14. Let's set, since we're bringing out 10 rows in this query, we'll set page size to 5. And we'll run our query again. The number of lines on the page are 1, 2 rows, plus 2 lines for the heading, plus a blank line. So we could set it to something a little more visually appealing. For instance, set it to 10, run the same query, and we can see that we've got blank 1, 2, and then 7 is 10, then it breaks. Another use for page size is, as we've seen in the previous diagram, is to set page size to 0, and it will completely switch off the page breaks. So if I were to select everything from act, as you can see, I have no page breaks, no headings, no page breaks. Server output switched on is used with DBMS output to display output in PLSQL code. That's a little bit advanced to demonstrate that at the moment, so we won't. SQL prompt will set the SQL prompt on and off. So let's show the SQL prompt. It's set to SQL. This thing here you can see here. So let's set SQL prompt to an empty string. As you can see, the SQL prompt has completely disappeared. Termout suppresses screen output. Timing switches timing on and off. Let's show timing. Let's switch to off. Let's set timing on. And run the same query. And it tells me that 0 seconds elapsed. I would have to run a larger query in order to actually get a response. And there we have 0.02 seconds it took me to run that query. Verify will display variable substitution display. When a variable is accepted using accept into SQL+, the line is displayed as the variable is replaced. You can switch that off. Word wrapping we already know. Spooling is important for scripting. Let's have a look at spooling. Firstly, I'm going to go and switch on all the things I've switched off so far. So I'm going to set head on. I'm going to set page size to a sensible value. And I'm going to set SQL prompt to SQL. Looks like I spelt that wrong. So I'll copy this again. And I'll simply rerun it. Once again, we should have most of what we need. The one thing we haven't set back on is feedback. And I spelled that wrong too, but never mind, we can type it again. Now let's try again. And there we have it. Other than the fact that timing is still set on, so we can set timing off again, and we can select from the act table again, and verify we don't get elapsed time popping up there. Spooling. To open a spool file is basically a log trace. I'm going to open the spool file. I'm going to say C:, in a temp directory, I'm going to say sql.log. That opens my file. Now I'm going to run a command. So I'm going to say select star from the act table. and I'm going to spool off. What I've done is I've gone to my c:\temp directory where I created my spool file called sql.log. Let's open that file. Here is my file. It's basically a select statement duplicating the command plus the data.